Power off.
All right. All right. Just waiting for the ASEAN people to plug us in and let's get this started. I'm gonna start in a minute. We're gonna get this rolling in a minute. In a minute, we're gonna get this rolling. All right. So ASEAN will hook us up and then we're gonna roll. So just bear with us for a minute. I'm gonna be with you. Welcome everybody. Good afternoon, my fellow Ambazonians. Good afternoon to you all. And our fellow Ambazonians, for all our papa them and our mommy them, una good evening for all una. For all our people, they already there for this side for North America. Una good afternoon for all una. And for all our people then for ground zero, and our people then for ground one, our people they be all across, even for ground two, for that side for Ghana. Una good evening for all una. Una welcome. I be una brother Asu, when the press secretary for executive office for governing council of Ambazonia. Today, I don't come for can't give una plenty update. Today, I don't come for can't give una the good news. We don't come up for the leader office, and I will give una update of what una defense forces that they do. I will also detail una how a war of independence, which you don't do for La République du Cameroun, and then I go round up for give una which they come up in the days ahead. So all money place day, una come fine, una come well. For all our people that they watch from Facebook, I want just make all una know say they say because of how Facebook they target our activities, Cameroon colonial government they pay Facebook plenty money, may they make sure say a lot of Ambazonians they not watch we, they not follow we for Facebook, they think saying that their own means that way they feel use them for stop what people them for participate. So what Facebook they be very they target them all the time. My Facebook right now I use them for for the activism for serve the leader office. They don't put them on hold the last 3 days. So maybe not today, this afternoon they go move on. And so we don't know when they go open them back. But I know if it come live for Facebook for the next 2 months. So any man we want to follow on wait till they go on every day. I go to post video for my YouTube page, for my YouTube link. So the best place for find me and for know what did happen and what we talk about, for get the fast, latest, quickest information and the most reliable information, and for follow my YouTube page, Lucas Asu. All right. So all my place there. When I welcome our people them for Facebook, our Facebook community. When I know say when I be our primary community, so nothing forget when we go so continue for communicate with una for that channel for the way we feed do them. We will also use WhatsApp as well, but our primary mode or medium for communicate right now now through ACN because the most important people them for our war of liberation, our people them for ground zero, our communities, our families them, our villages, our towns, our soldier them, are the most important constituent that for constituency for this war of independence. All right, not be say all the other places don't matter. The ground zero hold the power for our liberation, and so now for they were focus day in terms of our communication. Make all man come find, make all man a place day. Make we start with the big work where our forces they go do them today. They go do them yesterday. The Ambazonia Defense Forces yesterday they carry out a very big operation for inside Lebialem. Una sabi Lebialem very well. Lebialem na place where La République du Cameroun they be use them as a staging ground for manipulate the Ambazonian people them. Una sabi say na for Lebialem they be chook plenty soldier them where they call them say the Red Dragons under Field Marshal. And una sabi say, you know, right now the Red Dragons they don't disappear. The one the way they remain. They don't go for that other place. And Brother Field Marshal, we hope say if they find somewhere. So the Ambazonia Defense Forces, because La République be succeed for take out Ayeke and Field Marshal to way no day, le Bialem down the fall. The Ambazonia Defense Forces, they talk say they not feel leave am, make a very strategic and important location like the state of Lebialem, make La République du Cameroun, it take back Lebialem. So General Efang, the Supreme Commander of Ambazonia Defense Forces, he start for make new plans for how for make sure say the Ambazonia people continue for secure Lebialem, protect our people them for Lebialem, and make sure say Ambazonia authority it be for Lebialem. So the General Efang, he start for put a soldier them for Lebialem. They put soldier them for Lebialem. They don't capture Wabane, we all Unado already know. Yesterday, they decide for go for some other place for Lebialem, for go carry out operation, for make sure say they move La République du Cameroun for that place. I know say Ambazonia FBI, Comrade Capo Daniel, he just finished your talk with una, he never stay, make a give una an update of that operation, and then I go really tell una what did really go on. All right, una watch.
Yeah, no be easy. Obviously, I'm not command to this. No, I saw them command. Siam, this one a part of the command to this. They just don't down with the rest. And then this. Correct. Siam, I saw them command to that. They day in number. So I'm a bomb the bamboo. I will send this message me go down. No, in few days and I go bomb, I go destroy you. That if I go mix that for day. And then come on to the top. Have you seen that? Come on to the that. Then come on to the that. I mean, no be easy.
So if una the watch for this, una the watch, una go see say one of the special forces them for Ambazonia Defense Forces. Now a woman did lead the forces. and a woman be commander for one of these Akamatsu them. All right? Na a commander, na woman for Akamatsu. I need the under, na the lead the operations them.
Hey, na visi am na dan Kamanto than that. Na dan Kamanto than that. Na visi na the biggest to pack that. Na the biggest to pack that so. Na the biggest to pack that so. Visi am. Hey, no be easy. Hey, from bamboo. Na visi am. No be na dan Kamanto this. Na go. I don't want kick off so. From bamboo. Today the 8th. Today the 12th April 2021. No be easy, but now body want get power. Yeah, no be easy. I've listened to another command to this. No, I saw the command. Siam, this one a part of the command to this. I just don't down with the rest. And then this. Correct. Siam, I saw the command to that. The day in number. So I'm a bomb the bamboo. I was saying this mission me good. No, in few days and I go bomb, I go destroy you with that. If I go mix that for you. And I come on to the top. Have you seen that I come on to the that? That I come on to the that? I say I mean no be easy. Hey, when I see that I come on to the that? That I come on to the that? I visit the biggest to pack that. Now the biggest to pack that so. Now the biggest to pack that so. You see hey, no be easy. Hey, from bamboo. Now this no be na come on to this. Now go. I don't want kick off so. From bamboo. Today the 8th. Today the 12th April 2021. No be easy, but now body want get power.
So, for all our people them, make una get confidence. Say, una defense forces, una National Liberation Army, no matter the place for Ambazonia, where it be weak, the Ambazonia Defense Forces, it go make sure say that place it be strong for Ambazonia. Any place where soldier they be dead, but due to one situation or another, those soldiers they not be fit for maintain Ambazonia authority. The Ambazonia Defense Forces, under the Supreme Commander of General Efam, they go fill in the gap, they go fill in the void, they go send in the soldiers then, for make sure say na Ambazonia get power for every block for Ambazonia. Now the strategy that. So as when I don't hear that then that they don't come up for I think na bamboo. If we not pronounce and fine, I beg una forgive we. A lot of these places them would learn the names them at the very first time. All right, now the soldier that they teach we actually the names them. So una forgive we. Would also when we hear the name they'll go check map. All right. So Moon understand say the authority of Ambazonia now control ground zero. For all the 13 states, the authority of the forces of Ambazonian Defense Forces and our sister forces, now then they be the authority of the land. There is no other authority for ground zero other than Ambazonian soldiers. There is no secondary authority for our land other than the liberation forces. Now then they be the sole authority on the ground for now until the time where the Ambazonian people they go institute and put in place a transition authority. With that process, it already start for some community them. But they never be centralized with all Ambazonian they go see them. The transition authority only there now for the liberated communities. Now those people that they enjoy the benefits of the liberation for right now. So make this one be very clear for all man. the sole authority for our land na Ambazonian forces. The singular power for inside Ambazonia na Ambazonian forces. Ambazonian soldiers, or you call them Ambazonian fighters. The dominant force for ground zero. The person when I get the authority for the land, for all the soldier them, na General Efan. Now I be the authority on the ground as the biggest general for lead the biggest force for ground in collaboration with all our sister forces them and all other fighters. Together, now then they control the land. For every block, the commander for that block now be the authority for that place. For every state, the block by block generals and block by block commander, now then they be the representatives for the liberation of Ambazonia. Cameroun, get power for Ambazonia. Cameroun colonial authorities, Cameroun colonial administrators, Cameroun colonial councillors, Cameroun colonial parliamentarians, Cameroun colonial senators. Those one, their days, they don't pass. They be history. Now a new chapter for a new generation, for a new people then. So in only 4 years, we don't come very far. It take we less than 4 years for end Cameroon occupation of Ambazonia. So today one can give una an update for make una hard make it over sweet. For tell what people say, when the leader, it talks say, the defeat of Cameroon, it don't actually happen. Make you tell how it go on for ground. The Cameroon soldier them, the occupation forces, their confidence for fight, they again. They don't get the confidence for stand fight. That one no day. They be very weak because they don't know why they did for Ambazonia. They don't know why Paul Biya send them for Ambazonia. They don't know the reason why Paul Biya send them for Ambazonia. They don't get a reason for their heart as to why they did for Ambazonia. And the instructions where Paul Biya he give them, the instructions where Atangaji give them, the instructions where their military, their generals that they give them, they don't make sense for the actions where they want me to carry them. So, if the instructions where they give, when you put them for your head, you check them, and you put them for your heart, you check them, not correct. If you perform well. Actually, they call and say belief, day. So, it make Cameroon soldier them. Now give me a moment. So it make the Cameroon soldier them, they be very weak. They be very fearful. They don't get commitment. The Cameroon soldier, they don't get any commitment to the colonial government. Because inside their own spirit, what did they tell them they do and not make any sense. It not get any meaning. They don't say not fine. So their commitment for Paul Biya not only because of the money which they take them for monthly salary. Not just because say not for them not a job. So they just did it not for survive. So most of them, because they not be committed to the colonial state, the war be wrong, It be immoral. It be against even the spirit of those soldiers them. What you don't make them, they are more. What they call and say they are moral. Their confidence and belief and commitment, it be very low. So most of them, they don't live the fight. They don't live the fight in their numbers, in their thousands, in their hundreds. They don't abandon the fight. Or as they talk for Igbo language, say they don't desert. They don't run. Say I not fit fight this kind of fight. And when they see the superiority of Ambazonian fighters, when they hear from the voices of our soldier them, I beg my play another video so that make it really explain what we talk am here. When I watch this video,
Yeah, no be easy. I've seen another command to this. No, I saw the command. See, this one a part of the command to this. They just don't down with the rest. And then this. Correct. See, I saw the command to that.
So when I see the confidence of our forces them, when I see their dedication, their passion, even for the voice of the general, when I feel their commitment, it be very high. Their commitment be extremely high. So a lot of Cameroun, their army them, they don't run the fight, they don't run the war, they don't get the capacity for stand Ambazonian fighters. So they don't lost the war. All right. And as the leader talk for the message we put them for outside, one of the reasons why Cameroun, they end this one at the end of Cameroun occupation of Ambazonia, now because they divide Ambazonia and they create many blocks. Cameroun of fight more than for 200 places at the same time for inside Ambazonia. It be impossible for the Cameroun forces them for fight Ambazonian forces them for about 200 places. So they not fight. And a part of the strategy that. So because they not fight for more than 200 places, it give the Ambazonian people them, which they call and say the upper hand. Ambazonia get an upper hand. Because now the forces that the local block by block forces that they control the various blocks. And when I know say in the last few months, the forces they don't dismantle Cameroun their bases, like what happened for Upper Banyang for Manu, with the Ambazonia Defense Forces, they go for there and they go dismantle the B post where they be put on for there. Then 2 weeks later they go back for there because they don't dismantle that B post. They go back for there, they go capture Cameroun, their biggest general, a house, a local B house, capture them. And then leave a message for tell them who control the land. Because of that, the Cameroon government now, it don't move a lot of their army, police, and gendarme for a lot of places for Ambazonia, for put them for other places. Because they know say if they leave those other small B post, when na 30 B they did, na 15 gendarme they did, na 15 police they did. Because of that one, the Cameroon government, it don't move a lot of the small army posts, gendarme posts, B posts, police posts. They move all those one now. They go check and for the other one, they go the big small. So that make them feel safe. So Cameroon don't dismantle their military bases for most places for Ambazonia. For bring those military bases, not only for the urban areas, for the big town then, where they feel say they get more control. All right. So the other thing where the leader also be talking, now say because the Ambazonian people them, the Ambazonian fighters, especially through the ADF, they develop a technology for scatter ammo car. because of that technology where they develop and for scatter Amoka, and they divide this technology for all over Ambazonia. So for every block, the forces, they get the ability for destroy Amoka. That ability where they get them for destroy Amoka, when that the only thing where La Republique du Cameroun it be get them for use them for fight for waka inside Ambazonia. Since they don't take away their ability for waka inside Ambazonia, even their Amoka, it don't catch fear. La Republique Amoka, it don't catch fear. The Amoka when it waka for road, it the fear, it the worry. The driver, the person will be the driver. It the fear because you don't know when that trap it go knock the Amoka. Like the other day happened for Ndo. So for Igbo language, they call it say phobia. Alright? The Amoka, it don't catch phobia. They get phobia. The fear of that trap, that bomb. Amoka don't develop the fear of IED. So even the Amoka is itself, as he drive for road, inside, it is say, abeg, I fear me, I dey fear me, mo no go, no carry me go there, no carry me go there, no go scatter me, I no want go me for that road, that road not fine, These Samba boys, they so, they over get sense, abeg, when I no carry me go there, that road they not fine. What if they go scatter me? Amoka, it talk to himself. No carry me go there, 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 no carry me go there. I no want die. Even Amoka, it is thinks I no want go die. Then imagine the driver when he did drive for that Amoka. I wanna know what it don't happen for them many times. The one go reach road, trap go knock him, boom. Like when I see him the other day, it scatter them. So all those things, it don't make Cameroon, their presence for Ambazonia, it don't be so diminished. That means their presence for Ambazonia don't finish. Because the only thing where they be getting are the Amoka. Now Amoka no fi waka. Because of all the road them. The Ambazonian soldiers them. They don't set this strap where they call it explosives. And it scatter the Amoka them. It is knock them, it scatter them. I think one Amoka, if I not be mistaken, one Amoka, according to the information we did for online, one Amoka na $500,000. $500,000 for one Amoka. So La Republique du Cameroun, it go borrow $500 million for China, for other private banks and for Africa. And then Ambazonia, they go only use na $250 for scatter the Amoka. La Republique go borrow $500,000 for can't fight war. But Ambazonia, their sense, they only use na $250 for set the trap. We go catch the Amoka, scatter them. So who get sense pass? La Republique foolish, Ambazonia they over get sense. The sense way too much for people them. All those things where they explain them, now then they add up for what you call and say the defeat of Cameroon. So as I explain and make all man begin to understand the things them, we would add them up for come for the conclusion about the defeat of Cameroon for Ambazonia. Because for we need to just make a statement. We do things that are based on scientific calculation because we observe the strategy and the moving parts, the different things that would make up the strategy for defeat Cameroon from many different places. So once you understand the strategy, you feel look about 5 different places where you feel do the interpretation of the defeat of Cameroon, and then you quantify them. All right. So when you take out that Amoka, all what it mean na say no Cameroon colonial administrator if he govern Ambazonia anymore. None. And the strategy of making the territory ungovernable, it make all them start for live for whole. And the strategy for stop economic exploitation, it don't make them The Cameroon colonial government, for their own country, their economy don't crash. So money no dey. Cameroon no fit fight this war. Money no dey. Canada don't talk say they not borrow the money anymore. America don't talk say they not borrow the money anymore. England don't talk say they not borrow Cameroon money anymore. Now Cameroon the only go now for the small African bank them. For go talk say I beg, una give me 500, una give me 50 billion, ma go build stadium. Una give me 50 billion, ma build road. They go back. So they not fit take, even IMF, it don't send a report for tell Cameroon government, say they go stop for borrow the money because they realize and say they need to borrow the money for fix the economy or for build the country. They borrow the money now for embezzle them for projects where they go embezzle all the money and use part of the money for fight for sponsor terrorism for Ambazonia. So IMF last week, they don't put out a warning report for the colonial state of Cameroon. They not fit fight this war for a long time. The end don't come. And when they see the signs for Cameroon, when they see the confusion for Cameroon. So all those places where we don't defeat La République du Cameroun Day. What did it happen now? Now say the general now, it is start for what we call and say the stabilization force. The defeat of Cameroon on the ground, it make all kinds of people them. Now the thing that way it increase kidnapping for ransom for Ambazonia. It increase people that it broke houses them for Ambazonia. It increase thief people them. All kind gangs. They don't take the advantage of the defeat of Cameroon. All the crimes that already happen for Ambazonia now evidence for the Ambazonian people. Say Cameroon will not get any control of Ambazonia anymore because they not maintain peace, security, and keep order. They not maintain peace, they not maintain security, they not keep public order. And that's why these kidnappings, they don't plenty. Now part of the strategy that for move Cameroon, but we not leave these places. We not leave Ambazonia, make it be chaotic. So that may be controlled by thief people them. We not leave and make where people they continue for experience kidnapping for ransom. And for them for be harassed. Because order not there for ground. Because a system never be put in place for ground. For take full control of Ambazonia. And now the reason this, now they sense this, where the leader, he come up with the process of the stabilization forces. The whole concept of una stabilization forces, una national liberation, the big army them, where they will carry out the big operation. Now for speed up the process, for move the remaining. Okay, I'll find how they talk on pidgin. Okay. The whole concept of the stabilization force. Now for do the work way, the other small block by block forces are not fit do one. So if a big camp, it is like the one where they don't put them for Mabanda for Kumba. That one a big camp. So the small block by block forces them, where sometimes they will be at them 15, sometimes they will be at them 20, sometimes they will be at them 30. They no go fit get the kind capacity, the kind materials, the kind training, the kind experience for go take down that kind big camp. And therefore, finally move Cameroon military control for inside place like Kumba. That's why they come up with the stabilization forces. The stabilization force, now go say, okay, for all the small places who don't defeat Cameroon, the block by block forces, they fit take control. For we for move Ambazonia to the point of recognition, we not fit leave them make Cameroun army, police, and gendarme, they continue for the town them. As long as the international community is see say Cameroun still get control of the big towns. Cameroun army still get control. Maybe a DOF still get control. They still see them for the big towns. It will not gain recognition that way. So they block the stabilization forces. Number one, now for all the places them for start for bring peace, security, and stability. Like what when I don't see and they don't do it for Bamumbu. I hope say Bamumbu for Libialem. The forces they go there. Now for go make sure say they move what remain of La République du Cameroun, and then they install Ambazonia authority for assure the community, for give a sense of confidence for our people. Say as we take Cameroun out, we na fit count on the stabilization forces because of their size, because of their materials the way they get them. We na fit count on them for protect the people them, for defend the community, and for provide peace and security, and for make sure say the people do not fight each other. Anytime we palaver come out, the community go immediately call the stabilization forces, and within an hour, within 30 minutes, the general don't send forces for can maintain order and bring community leaders them together for settle community problems. When I get the point, right? So that's why it be important for all we say as we already successfully complete the first batch of the stabilization forces. When I don't see the kind of big work they don't do for the Ambazonian people then. They take our war of independence to a whole new level. It changed the international perception of our ability for provide peace, security, and stability, and it gives a new sense of confidence on the ground. Because as we don't explain it for now, power must be seen. Leadership, go tell people when they say you be a leader. People they get for feel the presence of leadership. If you tell people that say you get forces, people they get for feel the presence, the power of those forces within their communities. Leaders must be seen to be leading. If you talk say you control a territory, but you not fit project power. And you not go fit project power for a war of liberation by issuing communiques or by issuing disclaimers for disclaim something or disclaimers. You know fit project authority in a liberated territory by banning things. You exert authority now through the presence of well-armed defense forces for both the local population, for build the trust within the local population, and for give the international community a sense of alternative. You talk say you don't defeat Cameroun. Show we say you fit control that territory. Show we say you fit provide peace. Show we say you fit maintain security. Show we say you fit guarantee stability. Yes. Now the two critical things in that way you must do them. Maintain local peace, security. Maintain local peace and security. And number two, for provide stability for international trade. I hope say it makes sense now for all man. That's why we get for do things based on strategy. That's why we get for do things now based on intelligence. And that's why we get for put the protection and the security of the Ambazonian people in first. We no fit protect our people them by empty talks. We no fit shidon for Igbo country them. We talk say we dey protect ground zero and you not build a force on the ground. It makes no sense. That one that they call and say deception. You did deceive your people and you did deceive yourself. Or another word that they call and say self-delusion. You almost be like a person with the craze. You don't lose sense. You be deluded. You almost be, you think about things the way they not be based on reality. You lie for your own head. You make up stories and fool yourself because the evidence not there for ground. So that's why the stabilization force, what people they feel Siam, like the people for Libialem, they feel the presence of the force. They see them in their uniforms. They see them in their power. They see them with their materials. They see their forces. It demonstrate power. And that power, it give the population hope for belief. Hope for being resilient. Hope for trust. For trust Ambazonia. And for let go of anything where they be ever believe about Cameroun. You must provide an alternative to anything for build confidence and trust within people then. And at the work this with the stabilization forces that they do them all across Ambazonia. When they go take out the house, now give me a moment here, so that when we talk this thing, make we talk scientifically, make we talk realistically, make we talk based on evidence, make we not talk now based on lies, now based on stories, make we talk based on evidence. All right? Now just give me a moment here, make I load up another video for now, so that we will talk practically, so that all man fit see and think and feel and know at the same time. I define the video for a local bee house so that all people that fit see them together. Now look that video for a local bee house. Now give me a moment here. Get a lot of files for my system here. Because if you now see the video for a local bee house, then you go really understand. Say these forces, they fit carry any action anywhere for Ambazonia. And you go understand the power of the stabilization forces. And why be critical for what we talk today. Just a moment. I know say for online, things again for be fast. When you get more than 2,000 videos. I beg, gonna give me a moment here. And some of those videos, their names will be very similar. So All right, I know you see that one, but make I play this one just for demonstration purpose.
Today, the 19 February 2021, this are part of the Cameroun forces and this. Today, the 19 February 2021.
All right. Now, any person will get eye. When you see these kind of forces, they enter for your community as your forces. Sugar will be inside your heart. Your heart will be in a sugar. Eh? As they talk for Igbo language, say goosebumps. Your heart will be in a sugar. Goosebumps. That's all the your skin go waka. Eh? Your skin go your heart. Your skin go just ginger inside. Your skin go just ginger go. Your skin go they talk your skin be very go be ginger.
General, the ADF general, it no be easy when I got you and get power. Today, the day they graduate the early commando force, the Ankamanto of the Ambazonia. And then this Navito na Onasiam, the Ankamanto force, then this Navisiam. Today, the 19 February 2021, the Ankamanto force, then this, for their graduation. It'll be easy.
Now, all we know the watch, as we tell you now, a leader must be seen to be leading. The population therefore see their forces, just like the population can't witness them for here. When the population can't see the forces, those forces, they get faces, they get names. The population will trust, the population will believe, the population will become more committed, more dedicated to the cause. Now leadership this, now the liberation strategy this, now the final phase of our war of independence this. For project a force where what people they feel believe in, they feel trust, they feel count on, they feel depend on. A force where feel protect them. That's why when the population come out, for can watch and witness the growth, the progress of a revolution. No man no need for convince the population. People they be convinced by evidence. Everybody when it come out, it come that day, it can witness the ceremony for commission the special forces. No man no need for tell them who be ADF. No man no need for tell them wetin be Akamatsus. No man no need for tell them who be General Efan. No man no need for tell them who be Dr. Ayabacho to the Ambazonian people them. No man no need for tell them. Because the evidence of success, the evidence of power, the evidence of liberation, it be too overwhelming. Now the people, they know say that they succeed. The people, they go trust the freedom.
Next on the agenda,
1,000 them that.
19 February 2021.
offering by the graduation class.
Today, the 19 February 2021.
1,000s and that. Thousands.
The supervising the graduating batch for their own sharing.
So leaders that they build trust, not been just because of the talk where they talk. For a leader for win the trust of the people and for get the people to believe in the vision for their own freedom, the leader must give the people evidence for their belief. The leader must give the people them evidence for them for trust. The leader must provide the people with tangible evidence of progress. May some man who can tell you, say, I love you. Because love is an action word. Judge the love when some person tell you, say, whether they are boyfriend or girlfriend or husband and wife. Judge not by the actions. Now the same thing with our war of independence. And Dr. Ibacho, the leader of our war of independence, he understands this psychology and the strategy of effective leadership. Because we must provide an alternative, a positive alternative to Cameroon. We must show our people them something will be different and will be more positive than the tyranny of Cameroon, than the torture of Cameroon, than the brutality of Cameroon. So that when our forces they enter for a community, the community get to feel joy. The community get to feel loved. The community get to feel free. The community get to feel happy. A suppressed community, it go feel for the first time confidence. They go feel breathe. They go feel hug their forces, celebrate with their forces, jubilate with their forces, and praise their forces. Now the positive alternative that the people they start forget to taste on a new system where they feel depend on, they feel count on, and it be na their own. Na something na their own. Not be na something with some person from a foreign land is send them for can force them into subjugation. This one become part of who they be. So people, in some cases, for them to believe, they must see certain things for them to believe, for them to be committed. So that's why the leader of our war of independence over the last few years, especially over the last 2 years, it don't give the Ambazonian people them now a different kind of leadership where they never ever get on since 1961. Now leadership based on inspiration. Now leadership based on the respect of the people. Now leadership will be based on for put the interest and the aspiration of the people them at the center of every policy, at the center of every decision. And the people they must see them. Now the 21st century this. Not be 1960 this. You did deal with a sophisticated society. You did deal with a sophisticated global generation. The psychography of the world, it don't change. The millennial generation, they be one. They be connected because of the internet, because of smartphone. They be a different generation. They be wired different. A Pekin from Ambazonia, an 18-year-old Pekin from Ambazonia, a 21-year-old Pekin from Ambazonia, they get different hopes and different dreams than a papa them, than a mommy them. A mommy they be one, a mommy and a papa they be one only survivor. They be one just survive. As long as they get chop for chop, they get small house or stay. People do not bother them. They be okay. They be satisfied with that traditional life. And Ambazonia 18-year-old pikin, 15-year-old pikin, 17-year-old pikin, 21-year-old pikin, 25-year-old pikin, they get big dreams. They get big hopes. They want a better life. They want a stable society. They grow up with a concept of freedom, with a concept of hope. They grow up for the era of the Barack Obama, of the Ayabachos, of the General Ivos, where they tell them, say, everything be possible. They don't grow up for the era of the colonial state, where people they not get hopes, they not get dreams, because no means no there for people them for be able to achieve their dreams. That's why they fight. That's why they be bold. That's why they don't defeat Cameroun, because they be hungry for a new society. They be hungry for elevate and transform a new nation. They need to accept the status quo, because they don't belong to the status quo. They belong to something beautiful. And the leader don't take them there through the vision to something beautiful. A new Ambazonia, a beautiful Ambazonia, when that they be in charge. And that the generation this. That the people that be in charge. Nobody else. So I don't hear some small talk they don't come off outside there. Yesterday, small drama don't they come off outside there for our brother Eugene Ufoka, Tico boy. All right, Petit Frère make big error because Eugene he underestimate this generation of Ambazonians, this new generation. Eugene underestimate them because they need to take the time for understand the evolution of our people them. The education, the scientific, inspirational, hopeful, empowering education we don't give them for our people them in the last few years. It don't develop the critical faculty we be missing for the Ambazonian people them. They don't develop logical competence for differentiate between blackmailing and facts. For differentiate between distortion and evidence. So Eugene go make the biggest blunder where other activists and movement they don't make them in the past. Eugene want go blackmail Dr. Ibacho and the Ambazonian Governing Council for go put out a message on the public. Say the Ambazonia Biafra Alliance. It means say Dr. Ayaba, he don't accept for surrender Bakassi for the Biafra people them. All not just for develop, for cause hate. Make Ambazonia. They hate Dr. Ayaba. And then for bring Ambazonian back for those old days of hate. Of a hateful. But waiting Eugene not be know. Now say the Ambazonian people, they don't develop intellectual competencies. Or logical thinking. They don't develop critical faculty. The people themselves, they immediately just go for Eugene page. No man no instruct them by their own instinct based on logical progress. they go launch, they go for Eugene page. Out of what and how many hundred of comments, Ambazonia the one chop Eugene like vultures. Ambazonia the one crucify Eugene. At the level that. And so, Eugene's story now a warning for other people than for learn. This Eugene's story now a case study for show all we the kind of society would already belong. People don't be liberated for their minds. You cannot manipulate this generation. And you know if you use blackmailing. Forget your way through bullshit. You know if you use blackmailing for derail the hopes and the aspiration of the Ambazonian people them. And all these things, they come about not just because we'll be there for a chat group. For what they call and say, Activists United Forum. And would they argue each other for the forum? And Eugene not be fit for defend his own argument. And he not be get anything, he not be get anything for do with Bakassi and Ambazonia and Biafra. If it just be a general argument about the war of independence, and he not get any connection, wait will be the talk for that forum, he not be get any connection for do with Biafra, for do with Ambazonia, and for do with Bakassi. So Eugene not be fit for defend his own position in terms of the argument that he be going for forum, out of the frustration of the inability for defend yourself within your own peer groups, within your own peers, within your own friends. Now, out of that frustration, it make now Eugene, because most people they there for that forum, now A-Gov-C, now pro-A-Gov-C people then. It make Eugene now come out, for now go for outside, for go blackmail Dr. Ayaba. And the conversation not even concern Dr. Ayaba. Unfortunately for Eugene, he misjudged the population. He misjudged the Ambazonian, the new Ambazonian culture, the new Ambazonian attitude for social media. You know, if he blackmail their revolution and go free. So, wait till Eugene confront him. He pass Eugene himself because he not be underestimate. He be underestimate him. It not end for day. A group where Eugene help for create them. They don't go create their own group. Let me say for all the Ambazonian youth them, as they call themselves say youth. All right? As they call themselves say youth. People them for their 30s and almost 40 years old, they call themselves say they be youth. All right? Anyways, now the culture that we did, so they don't go create their own movement. They call themselves say Ambazonian Youth Council. And guess who be the president? The president of Ambazonia Youth Council, now Eugene. So these people then, they talk say the essence of their organization. Now for fight the corruption and embezzlement for Ambazonia War of Independence. When I hear something, Ambazonia back, when I hear this one. The purpose why they create Ambazonia Youth Council. Then they talk say then they be the people then they want to fight corruption and embezzlement for Ambazonia War of Liberation. Alright? A group of young people, they go gather themselves and they be the youth. When are the people that they're supposed to fight for the liberation of the people? But they say no. Then they want to be the people that they be very neutral. They don't want to support any side. They don't want to support any group. They don't want to support any movement. They want to be like the police of the liberation. Ambazonia, when I don't suffer, a group of talented, energetic, intelligent young men and women, they go gather themselves. Not before help for the liberation of Ambazonia. But men are in the Shidon. They become the police for check who the embezzle money and who need the embezzle money. All right. Then the second purpose for their organization, according to them, now for make sure say them two, their organization, it be represented on the negotiating table. Well, wonders. You know the The second purpose for the creation of Ambazonia Youth Council. Now for make sure say those people them, they get a place for negotiating table. Wonders, as the talk say, wonders shall never end. This one are beyond wonders. Young people them with a lot of energy. When at their generation, where they get the energy for fight and liberate the land. Young people, they know what they think. Say, where as we will be the youth, make we can gather ourselves for see how we fit inspire other people them for participate for the revolution. Young people then, they no go gather. Say make we inspire, educate, and lead the effort for make sure say our people they be protected, our people they be defended, and the rights and aspiration of the people of Ambazonia. Where majority of Ambazonians, now people the way the majority, they under the age of 35. The second group, they under the age of 55. Young people need to come together for see how they feel raise money for speed up the process of liberation. Young people need to come together for see how they feel support initiatives, for support the forces, for feed the refugees, for feed our prisoners of war. Young people, they need to come together. They say, since we are prisoners of war, every day, every month, at least an Ambazonia prisoner of war, an Ambazonia prisoner of conscience, it go to go court. How will fit raise money for support our prisoners them, so that as they go court, they fit get a lawyer who go represent them. No. Young people, the one go shit on will be neutral. We will be neutral. We'll be neutral. So we go only the monitor now which group the embezzle money. And then we wait. When other people they don't work, raise money, equip fighters, support ground zero, help prisoners, help refugees, and then we now come out. We want a place on the negotiating table. The same Cameroun colonial mindset. When people they no want work, but they want chop. When people they no want contribute for develop communities, but they want position for govern those communities. Now the mindset is. Now the mindset is of the Pan-Cameroun activist. Now the mindset is of young people them. Where they no one make Ambazonia be free. For young people them. Where they wait me pobia recognize them. Or me pobia use them. As moderates. As people they be moderate. They be neutral. They don't like war. They don't want separation. They just want them like justice. So they go isolate themselves for some small corner and call themselves say they be neutral. We'll be neutral. We will define our embezzlement and corruption. Now people they need to ever donate money or lead any effort. But now for fight against the organizations, institutions, leaders, and activists where they lead the war effort. Now for antagonize the population and bring unnecessary arguments and distractions. And that's why I call these people as Pan-Cameroun activists. Because now would they be that? They be controlled by Pan-Cameroun policies. And so they qualify under the label through their actions as Pan-Cameroun activists and movements until they prove otherwise. They will continue to be so. Unfortunately for Eugene yesterday, he commit what they call as a social suicide because he go touch the wrong snake. And so he get the biggest, the most bitter bite. And yes, a snake bite person. He touch the wrong snake. So he get a bitter bite. He get a taste of the current Ambazonian generation. Because the Ambazonian people rise up for protect their aspiration against blackmail. For protect their leadership against blackmail. For protect their liberation against blackmail. In no end for day. The same organization, when I hear this one, that the best part of the story this, and then I go tell you some fine story about Cameroun. The same organization where Eugene did it, where they did same that Ambazonia Youth Council, that same organization, immediately when they see what Eugene write down, themselves they know say it be an act of blackmail. They organize themselves within their structure. They call a quick meeting. They summon Eugene. Say, Eugene, explain for we why you go for the organization official page and you go put out this kind of message without consultation. And you never provide the evidence for within the organization. Those people, they tell Eugene, say, make Eugene write a letter of apology. I for put all those things on my screen here. Just because a lot of these things they not be part of which I really spend my time for prepare for, but not just a side note. All right. So those people, they tell Eugene, say, make Eugene put out a public apology to the leader of our War of Independence, Dr. Ibacho, and to the Governing Council of Ambazonia. And make Eugene provide the organization with the evidence of his accusation. Eugene tell them, say, fuck off. All right? Eugene tell them, say, okay? Say, fuck you. That's what Eugene tell them. He say, get out. Who be una? I can't tell me make I do all these things. I no go do that, no go do them. I no go apologize to Dr. Ayaba, and I no go apologize to the Governing Council, and I no go apologize to the Ambazonian people. They talk, say, hey, Mr. Eugene, if not the direction this way one go, not the direction this one go, because what you don't talk, it be very, now a serious offense. So they tell Eugene, say, if you not provide you with the evidence of your accusation, and you no want to apologize to Dr. Ayaba and the Governing Council of Ambazonia, then Mr. Eugene, this matter over big. Because now, if you put them together, it be now a betrayal of the state and the people's aspiration. So that same organization where Eugene, now be their chairman. Now be the chairman. They fire Eugene. They move Eugene as the president. Yesterday, all this one, it happened within 3-4 hours. I hope, say, this thing will act as a lesson for every other Ambazonian, where in the past, when the population never be educated, They fit use blackmail as an instrument for engineer hate and distraction. I hope say this thing make it be a lesson for every other person. That's why we spend 2 years on critical education and empowerment for 45. How they call them? They to fortify what people them. You know how people they go do odeshi as a fortification for their spirit. We will do na mental fortification. We do na mental fortification. That means say, and that the most dangerous thing this world ever do for this revolution. For 45 what people, their brain, their heart, their mind, their neurology. For no man not fit derail, not fit blackmail them. Because they don't develop critical faculty. The critical faculty, now the biggest part for inside your brain, where they distinguish between fantasy and reality. And it be very objective. That means you get objective thinking. You think that based on reasoning and logic. You need to just accept any two people they tell you without questioning. Without looking at the merits. Now the society, this will don't belong for 2 years. And so, for my line of work, the talk say, the meaning of your communication is the response you get. When I hear fine. For one of the core key leadership principle who they teach for communication, the meaning of your communication is the response you get. How Eugene communicate? And immediately Ambazonia, they say a communication be being based on blackmailing and conning. He get an immediate response from the fortified brains of Ambazonia. The brain don't put a scientific odeshi. Yes. We don't put scientific odeshi inside the neurology of the Ambazonian people them. Scientific odeshi, what they call and say critical reasoning and critical thinking. Alright? So you don't feel mess up with that kind of generation anymore. Any Ambazonia they watch ACN. They did think critically. They did think objectively. They did reason. Alright? You need to just take whatever. And now the thing is we don't use them for destroy La République du Cameroun. And it don't make them all the traitors, enablers, and infiltrators. They don't die like Jaman. Yeah? So, Eugene, he example, a warning for every other person. A warning for every other person. A warning for every other person. We want to end by reminding all we don't come very far for a very short period of time. The progress we don't make them. Now something where most people not be ever expect them. An average Ambazonian, if he thinks it could take na 30 years, 20 years for defeat La République du Cameroun. But through the sense of this generation, through the kind of leadership we'll get them, both for diaspora and on the ground, La République du Cameroun don't defeat them for 4 years. I would don't start to put in the forces, the big forces them, for make sure say Ambazonia not become a place where it could become a place where it be occupied by terrorists, until people them and gangs because of the defeat of Cameroon. The stabilization force don't do the work when we ask them to do. The stabilization forces, they don't live up to the expectation of what you want to expect them from them. They carry out the actions where they be consistent with their creation. They carry out the missions where they be consistent with the purpose as to why they create them. They project power and authority for ground zero as expected. It be good, but good is not good enough. That's why in the coming days, the leader would address the Ambazonian people and for help we for understand why it be important. Say as we don't launch stabilization force phase 2. Phase 1, now we contribute the money. Now we help for equip the forces. The general buy all the materials. They deliver them and they show una, they present una forces for una, and they make all una heart over sweet. They give una pride. For outside here, we celebrate. We don't do well. Good is not good enough for place we dey. We dey for a very critical place. It call all we for reach out, for reach in, for extend our sacrifices, for get to the finish line. For we forget to the finish line, we need to do that last work with man. It not be too much. We already do most of the work already. Most of the work of the liberation already be done. Now the last work for put in the critical materials for the strategic places where it go help the forces them for finish the work, for dismantle the remaining positions of Cameroun military, police, gendarme, and bees. And for take out the big La République fish them where they remain for Ambazonia. If we do this work. Now the reason this where the leader don't launch phase 2. Last month, we come together, we raise some money, we start to raise money for phase 2. On next week Saturday, after this Saturday we come, the next week Saturday, it go be na the day for continue that process for expand the stabilization forces, for expand their size, their capacity, for do the work we will not ask them to do. So we go to reach out for every Ambazonian and friends of Ambazonia. We go to reach out for our new friends them, where they don't become our good friends and brothers. We go to reach out for every Ambazonian family. Now last 5 days. So we go ask, make every Ambazonian go the extra mile. We need to go the extra mile for stretch ourselves, for make sure say, for this last fight, we'll get what it take for finish the fight. We'll not fight a fight and we don't win that fight 85% and we leave on the other 15%. We'll not finish them. It could be a big blunder. And the reason now for speed up the change in the international system, that they move towards Ambazonia. When I don't see all the signs, we'll get for finish their work for them. We do the work, then they respond. The meaning of your communication is the response you get. If you take the actions them, will they be consistent with what they expect from we as we don't defeat Cameroun? We must prove so we get the capacity and the capability for take full control of ground zero, for gain total recognition. So not only we the hold ourselves back, but I also know the hold ourselves back anymore because of the stabilization forces and the second phase. And when I see what happened on the first phase, everything changed within the international system. Within a week, everything changed. Think of the second phase. What go happen for ground zero? Which kind of actions you want to see them? Now, which army come, B come, police come, gendarme come, it there for some place, and you want me to dismantle them? Now, which colonial DO still there for some place, and you want me to take it out? Which colonial SDO still there for some place, and you want me to take it out? It requires now a big tactical force. Now, Kala Bilai, the colonial governor, or Lily Lafrique, it requires a tactical force where they go combine the first forces of the stabilization force and the second forces for carry out certain actions then with a big and for project leadership on the ground. So that's why we come back for all now again, because the sacrifices when we stretch and we do whatever it takes for our people then they don't to suffer. While mommy them they don't to suffer. Our brothers them and sisters them for Kondengi and all the other prisons and leaders who they did for prisons. They begin them for refugee camps. The one where they stay for bush. Make us speed up the process by challenging ourselves for every papa and mommy, for every family. I beg, when I go the extra mile. Would you send out invitation letters this week for every single patriotic Ambazonian? We want the freedom of homeland. A lot of things the leader go for the reveal and for the Ambazonian people on the day of the fundraising campaign. The leader will talk a lot of things. So if I make every person be present, and when you come, bring your envelope for contribution. Because now last 5 days, we get for move in with speed. We get for move in with power. For put in materials for critical places. For knock Cameroun off permanently. And give our people them a free homeland. If we build the first phase of the stabilization forces, then with that passion, with that enthusiasm, with that love for freedom, with that caring for our people then, with that compassion for the one who they suffer from refugees to prisoners to the displaced, the gift of hope. If we build the first phase of the stabilization forces and it give all man a sense of pride and joy, then the second phase, we do them even more. If you send me a message on WhatsApp, most of you get my WhatsApp number, send me a message on Facebook, send me a text message, tell me, say, are they for this place? I want to contribute for the stabilization forces. Make sure, say, you get your invitation. Make sure, say, you get your letter of invitation for the fundraising. Any person, all una. I not get all my phone number, but if you not message me, now we message each other and we send your letter of invitation. No matter place where you there as an Ambazonia. Now the last 5 days, participate for make we free homeland. Participate. When they see the forces, they move big plans a day. Things a day where they need for provide them. And when we provide them, it will take a short period of time for knock Cameroun off and give our people them a free homeland. And make one mommy them and one papa them they feel proud. And make them start to feel free for their own country. We make all the one day they did for prison. The colonial state not get any choice than to start for freedom. And we start create safe spaces for liberated areas where there were people that feel start for come back for their own communities and feel safe for a protected Ambazonia. Now they work this. Be part of the passion for give Ambazonia freedom. Give everything where you get them. Whether you need for take your clothes and we need to wear them. All our sisters, they did for America, they did for Canada, they did for Australia, they did for Europe, all across Europe. When I get plenty clothes them, we don't buy them, Una don't keep them for una closet. Una never ever wear them. Every woman waiting for abroad, you get at least 10 dresses for inside your closet. You never ever wear them. You get at least 5 pairs of shoes. You never ever wear them. You get at least 5 purse where you never use them. You get at least 3 jackets. You never wear them. Sell some of those things. Take the money, donate them. Take those things. Go for those websites where you go retail those things for good price. Take that money, give them for the liberation of homeland, than for money for the shidon for your closet without any use and any value. All our brother them, all papa them, all mommy them. Now on a time this, as families, for talk say make a do something for this last fight, for end the suffering of our people them, and give our people them back their homeland. Alright? If you do them, make the love of our people that may fill your heart. The love for end their pain and their suffering, make it fill your heart. The love for see a free homeland, make your heart, make you be consumed by that love. And say the freedom where you did for Igbo land, whether you did that for Europe or any place where you did feel a little bit free, make our people they get that freedom. The reason with me, I be committed to the freedom of Ambazonia and for work with the leader for War of Independence and the governing council and the people and the Ambazonia Defense Forces. Now because of the freedom I don't taste them for Canada. And I want to make all our big mommy them. Make all our big papa them. Make all our sister them. Make all our picking them. I want me to taste that freedom too. When the other day I began a meeting with the Canadian federal authorities, now the thing that I tell them, say my commitment for Ambazonia freedom. Now because I come here too as a displaced person because of the occupation of our homeland. And as I don't see the freedom with this country if offer them, and how personal life if it be as a result of a free society, I get the moral responsibility for the freedom of our own big mommy them, big papa them, for the freedom of our own homeland. And that's what the court cafe. When something come up for your heart, you get for put them for other people their heart. They be very happy. And the reason that we be free, we owe the responsibility for free our people them. And the best way for do them, and for make sure say, we build the second phase of the stabilization forces, for do the work on the ground, for give you the recognition, for help we take our country back. All right? So, I appeal again for all Guna. I appeal again for all papa and mommy them. I appeal again for all brothers and sisters and all families. We could do one for ground zero. Use your blessings which God don't give you. Whether not the blessings of a job, that the blessings of, say you come from America or Canada or Australia, that the blessings of, say you did for Tanzania or you did for Ghana or you did for Nigeria, and you don't be blessed with something. A good job, a good business, a career, or just the ambition. Do something. Take your blessings, turn them for bless the land. We may be a big papa commode, maybe a big mommy commode. A land where maybe your uncles that still did it, your cousins that still did it, your friends that still did it, your childhood friends and classmates that still did it. Make we give them hope too. Make your freedom become a gift for their own freedom. Make your blessings for America. Make it become the blessings for the land, for the freedom of the land. Make your blessings of a good job. Take them. Take small. Take $1,000. Take $2,000. Take $5,000, $10,000. Why not? It go be na the blessing too. For a land where you also go enjoy them. Because if you gather all this money for America, you save them all for America. But you not fit go back for your own homeland. You not fit remain strangers for outside here forever. See the weather. Especially when you don't start old. When I know say winter, the worry old people them. They will fit create a possibility. Say you come here, can't live here for between spring, from April. You come out of Ambazonia for April. You can't live here for April till October. By the time winter one up, you don't go you back. Go to enjoy Ambazonia. From October, November, December, January, February, March. And you start for live for these two worlds. Why not? So be part of the progress. Make your blessings be the blessings to homeland and to the ones that will leave them behind. Be a blessing for the liberation of Ambazonia. We invite you to join the leader and the defense leadership on the 24th for next week Saturday for the big fundraising for the stabilization forces. We reach out for una, every person. All right? May God bless una. Mona still say, oh, this Saturday where they come. This Saturday where they come. The leader of our war of independence. He'd go to get a face-to-face, one of its kind interaction with Siseko Ebini when the big brother or the godfather of IGK. Yes? Dr. Ebacho, he go to get a face-to-face, which they call and say face the leader, for a frank conversation between the leader and our big brother and Papa Siseko Ebini. She Siseko Ebini. No, Mark, I beg my call and find before I can get a call from from doctor. The leader of our war of independence, he go to get a face the leader outing for a frank conversation between he and our big brother when na Siseko she Dr. Christmas Ebini. Pa, I don't call a fine, no. I don't give you all the titles. You know if you call one, you not call the other. Pa the vex. The other day I sent pa message. Send pa message. We talk say Siseko Dr. Ebini. He sent the message back. He said, why when I forget she? They go for write the letter again. They add Siseko she Dr. Christmas Ebini. Well, pa, you deserve them. You don't work them, you deserve them. You deserve we'll call you all the titles and the respect where you need them. So it go to come up this weekend. It go be a good interactive event between the leader and Wapa. When a pillar, when a powerhouse, a constructive force for our war of independence as well. A great patriot and a great statesman. We don't stand for the Ambazonian people them for a very long time. They don't stand based on principles and stuff like that. So they will get an interactive session. It will be at the first event for Face the Leader. And so when I look forward to that outing this weekend, and when I invite all man, it will be a time where people if you go laugh, people if you go learn, but it will be as when I know, two giants. All right, the leader versus another giant. Okay, so when I look forward to it, and when I make sure say when I prepare on ourselves, when I chat on our phones them, and people they on ground zero, when I tune, when I antenna them fine. When I make sure say when I get this first experience for that kind of interaction, because now the future of Ambazonia is. All right. As always, one end by thanking our general for Kumbo. one end by thanking one general for the ADF commander for Kumbo, as una sabi, who lost General Hassan a couple of months ago. And so the Ambazonia Defense Forces, through the process of internal vetting, they don't erect and install a new general for Bui, for ADF Bui Brigade. They don't install a new general for there. And so now the ceremony this, as we do I want to make all we put our hands together, our heads together, and thank the Ambazonia Defense Forces for the kind structures where they belong. All right, they make all man know their commanders them, their generals them, not be like something where they do them for back or they hide them. Now the event this, now the ceremony this.
Morning, soldier. Because the talk thing, then I think the way we go for the talk for civilian. Oh, we don't cut this time. Now go. Attention. Respect.
Ambazonians, as una the watch, una the see them, they need to do them for hiding. The forces and the communities, they invite community may they participate for the activities of the communities. The forces and the community, they work hand in hand. Because the forces, they fight now for protect the communities and for liberate the communities and for liberate the nation. Now the work of Ambazonia Defense Force is this. So that may the community, they understand who will be the new authority for the land, who will be the new general, the overall general for the great state of Bui. It be very important. Not been a generals for WhatsApp forum. Not been a generals for paper. Not generals on the ground. Where community, they know who they be. Authority, then are for ground. These public events will be very important for show the public the command and control of the Ambazonia Defense Forces. Make the public see the structure of leadership and how they get total command and control. And they know who will be the overall general for the great state of Bui. And then with the different commanders where they control the various barracks. So this ceremony, now the ceremony this where the Ambazonia Defense Forces and this general not be not come out somewhere. Now person where it don't be a fighter for the ADF Bui Brigade for a long time. They not appointed from somewhere, say go for Bui, go be a general. Now within the forces, they elect a general. Now through the general actions, through a hard work, through a experience, through a leadership, you the end for ADF, you the end your title. No money to give you a rank because of your name. They give you your rank, you the end your rank because of your hard work, the action the way you carry them, the leadership way you show them, your loyalty, your commitment, your behavior, and by you did lead by example. Now they qualify you. So say for this kind of time, you don't prove yourself through time, and therefore you end the leadership. Say when another general fall, you fit take the mantle of leadership for lead the forces and lead the community. So we want to join our hands together with all the people that watch for Ground Zero for congratulate. When I see them, we want to congratulate the new ADF general for the overall general for the great state of Kumbo. We want to congratulate General Kumbo, the ADF overall general for the great state of Bui, for a new responsibility and a new role for lead the forces them for Bui and for lead the community. So general, your cafe day up, your place day, we salute you. We salute all our generals them for the great state of Bui, General King Ebube, Commander Capo, Commander Riwan, who I hope I not forget any other one. All the other commanders them, on a cafe day up, General Kumbo, we salute you and we thank you on behalf of the nation, on behalf of the leadership of Governing Council of Ambazonia, on behalf of the defense chairman, on behalf of General Efang, on behalf of Lieutenant General Popo. You get the trust of the Ambazonian people. Say what you wanna need for liberate the land, it will always be provided for una through the Governing Council of Ambazonia and through the leadership of Ambazonia Defense Forces. So we welcome you, we salute you, we pray for you. May God give you the strength and the wisdom and the warrior spirit and the spirit of Akamatsu for not only lead the ADF for total victory, but for be able for keep your community and your people them for the great state of Bui under harmony and under love and under oneness. May God bless you, General. Ambazonians, when I get a good night.
So, today for Plan One General, for the fight the struggle. You know the Plan One General, now for Guy Galon or Bash or Cap. With the Guy General, gone, will lead me for battlefield.